Hi, welcome back to my channel. I finally did it. I did it and I'm so happy about it. And what have I done? I've quit social media. Or kind of quit social media. I quit doom scrolling on social media. And I quit looking at other people's photographs online. And that made me focus more on my own photography and boost my own creativity. Like I said, I quit doom scrolling on social media. And why did I do that? Well, the main reason is I think photography needs a lot more punk rock. And I'm going to talk about that in just a few seconds or later on in this video. But that's the main reason. But before we go into that, this isn't a video about hating other photographers, hating other people's photographs, hating the art of photography, or any kind of hate at all. Hate to me is a strong word, and I don't like to use it much. And internet is so full of hate already that they don't need my videos to fuel that any further. Instead, I want to fuel positive energy on the internet. And that's what I'm going to try to do in this video, so bear with me. I actually had a video that went viral. At least to me it went viral. It had over, I think, 1,500 to 2,000 views, and I deleted it because even though I didn't intend the message to be negative, most of the people who commented on the video made it negative. So I deleted it. I don't want that video on my channel anymore. And the decision felt kind of good. So instead, this video is about why I don't doom scroll on social media and flip through other people's photographs anymore. And it's also a video about what I think is lacking in the field of photography that I am in, namely street and a bit abstract street photography, if you like, and a more kind of documentary style of photography. And I don't really think this is only applicable to photography. I do think art and especially music needs this in this day and age. And that's a bit of punk rock. Bear with me, I'm coming to why in just a minute. First of all, I want to talk a bit about why I don't scroll and through other people's photographs anymore, and why I don't hardly look at any other people's photographs anymore, unless I'm in an exhibition or stumble upon a physical photograph. That's because people on social media kind of follows trends and what's in at the moment, what's hot at the moment, instead of doing their own thing, risking not to get likes. Because from what I can see on at least the accounts that I follow on Instagram, for instance, people see a photograph that went viral, they go chase their own version of that photograph with basically the same lighting, the same exposure, the same everything, and post those photographs, and all of a sudden I have a social media feed full of basically the same photograph over and over again. And that is so darn boring to look at. So I don't want to waste my time doing that anymore. Scrolling through those feeds with basically the same photograph over and over again, I noticed that it kind of, even though I didn't want it to, it somehow started to affect my own photography. And I started taking the same photographs over and over again, like all the others did. And I finally decided to stop because I didn't like that. Photography, yet again, stopped being... or not stopped, but it went on that slippery slide of not being so fun anymore. And besides, I don't want my brain to get spammed with ads and, dare I say, influencers doing stupid things just to get likes. I don't want my brain to rot with that kind of content. So I decided to only post photographs and leave it at that. I don't even look at comments anymore on what people write about my photography. And the other reason is that every photograph needs to follow the rule book of photography. You need the perfect exposure, you need the perfect lighting, you need the perfect framing. Everything just has to be perfect. And that perfectionism is also something that bothers me. I talked about that in another video. And that's also boring. Always looking at these perfect photographs with no personality, no soul to them. I mean, if you look at the street photographers of the old days, they put some part of themselves into their photography. They stood out a bit. Thank God the trend of photographing your soon-to-be-cold dinner have stopped. At least that's one positive thing about social media and photography. Unfortunately, those photographs, I believe, was what built Instagram back in the day. Everybody needed to take a photograph of their dinner with the best kind of lighting, everything, and they spend half their lunch photographing the dinner, and when it was time to eat it, it was cold. And I believe a lot of Instagram photographers have eaten cold dinners. And this is why I believe that just like the music in the 60s needed rock and roll, the music in the 70s needed punk rock, because music in the 60s became stale and boring. Music in the 70s also soon became kind of... Well, we had disco. Okay. And even though I'm a Swede, I absolutely can't stand listening to ABBA anymore. My ears bleed when I listen to ABBA. Put on a Sex Pistols record, on the other hand, and you got me jumping and dancing like a fucking maniac. And I believe that is kind of what photography needs today. And this is my opinion, and my opinion only, that photography needs a bit of an edge. It needs to feel kind of dangerous again. It needs to challenge something. Be provocative, but not be provocative for the sake of being provocative, but being provocative to get a message through. Because if you only do something provocative to be seen on social media, then it becomes stale and boring. So yeah, photography needs more attitude, a bit more roughness, a bit more of the photographer. It's him or herself in the photographs. Dare to step out of this social media box and put yourself into your photography. Not other people's ideas or other people's ways of doing photography. Be edgy, be angry, be happy, be something. Even be more in your face. Maybe not like Bruce Gilden in your face, but show me something with your photography. Make it interesting. Dare to experiment. Dare to experiment with exposure times. Dare to experiment with lights, shadows, hard lights, not so hard lights, whatever. Just tell me something with your photographs. Or if you do photograph, accompany that photograph with a bit of text. It doesn't need to be a poem like I'm doing in my new project. But tell me something. Photography just needs more feeling. Because a photograph that doesn't show me something or make me feel something just feels like S&M. It's torture. And by S&M I don't mean the Metallica album, I mean the other kind. Okay, let's continue. Like I said, I want a bit more edge to the photography. Or the photographs I'm looking at. And I want some more of the photographer in the photographs. Where do you as photographer come from? What have you done with your life? Where are you now? What's happening around you? All those things can be incorporated in a photograph. And that is what makes a photograph really, truly interesting. So, to sum this video up, stop taking internet trends as inspiration. Stop photographing what everyone else is photographing just because it's trendy at the moment. Stop boring the world with boring photography. I'm guilty of this as any other photographer is. You should see my earliest photographs that I took. Or my first 10 years of photography. Jesus Christ, those photographs are boring. I think I have one photograph from those 10 years that still sticks with me. It might be a few more, but it's actually just one that comes to mind right now. Start sharing your story, your personal story in your photography. That makes a photograph interesting. And another thing I encourage you to do, stop watching this video and start commenting about what you think about photography today. Am I right? Is it boring? Does it need more edge? Do you want more edge to it? Do you want more attitude in photography? Do you want more storytelling in photography? Or are you happy with just these boring internet trends of boring photography? I'll thank you so much for watching this video. And I'll hope you see me in the next one. So I'll say bye for now, and I want to hear you clickety-click on your keyboards.